Have you ever wondered why, in this giant classroom called Earth, one tiny group makes up only 0.2% of the population but wins over 20% of Nobel Prizes? They dominate Wall Street and shape how we use social media every day. Is it because they were gifted a Core i9 brain while the rest of us run on old chips? Or is there a secret hidden in ancient books we never decoded? Welcome to the journey of exploring one of history's most controversial mysteries, Jewish intelligence. Before you imagine secret labs or Illuminati conspiracies, here's a cold truth. They aren't smarter because their brains are different. They became smart because they had no other choice to survive. Imagine playing a survival game on hardcore mode. Every 100 years, your wealth resets to zero, and you're forced to start in a foreign land. If you can't learn fast, calculate risks, and adapt, you disappear from history. That's where the story begins. For over 2,000 years, they lived as eternal refugees. They weren't allowed to own land or farm. They couldn't join armies or governments. So what did they have left? Only their minds. A farmer loses everything when expelled. But a scholar or merchant carries wealth inside their skull. Knowledge became the only asset that cannot be confiscated. It travels across borders with no weight. And it keeps generating value even when the world collapses. This wasn't superiority, it was painful evolution. Only the most adaptable mind survives centuries of persecution. Now let's talk about education. While medieval Europe was mostly illiterate, they enforced mandatory learning. For them, illiteracy was a religious sin. Jewish boys learned to read at age 3 to 5 to study the Torah. The literacy gap became enormous. While others learned plants, they analyzed complex texts. Literacy made them the middle class of society. They became accountants, record keepers, and lenders. Money lending was seen as dirty, but it built modern finance. Now meet their secret weapon, the Talmud. It's not a book of answers, it's a book of debates. Thousands of scholars argued across centuries. Think of it as an ancient Reddit of high-level thinking. A good student asks questions that make teachers sweat. Questioning authority became a cultural habit. If you can debate God, no boss can scare you. This mindset shaped Einstein, Freud, and Karl Marx. People who reshaped human thinking. There's also the pressure of the Jewish mother. Social status was measured by education, not wealth. A rich, illiterate man ranked below a poor scholar. Wealthy families wanted scholars as sons-in-law. This created intentional intellectual matchmaking. Resources flowed toward the brightest minds. Intelligence increased chances of having descendants. A perfect system for generational talent. So when you see Nobel Prizes or Forbes lists, look deeper. You're seeing survival turned into strength. Isolation turned into focus. Fear turned into a hunger for knowledge. They didn't get smart to feel superior. They got smart to survive. But intelligence comes with a price. A price of pressure, loneliness, and heavy expectations. In the next chapter, we'll explore their education secrets, where failure is loved more than success. Financial history from Venetian lenders to Wall Street. We continue exploring this mental upgrade. We enter the most important room in the Jewish house, the place where ideas turn into gold. Earlier, we learned they became smart through hardship. Now we see how they used it to reshape finance. Prepare yourself. After this, you might throw away dusty get-rich-quick books. You might even pick up the Talmud instead. Here's an uncomfortable truth. Many people see money as evil. They think money corrupts morals. They think it's shallow.
Jewish culture sees money differently. It is the energy of freedom. Money isn't for luxury show-offs, it is for independence.
Money means nobody can control you. You can protect faith and family. This mindset made them masters of risk, even before risk management existed. Why did they dominate finance for centuries? Not magic intuition. They trained a thinking craft, a system built on analyzing ancient texts. One powerful method is Havruta, the art of paired debate. Instead of studying alone, they study in pairs. They challenge each other. They argue intensely. They hunt for flaws in logic. This is critical in finance. Before investing, they debate every risk. They play the devil's advocate. They attack their own ideas first. When false assumptions fall, truth remains, and profit follows. Another key idea is the jar rule, a simple but strict habit. Children learn it early, even from pocket money. Money gets divided into jars: spending, saving, investing. Charity. Charity is essential. It's called tzedakah. Giving 10% isn't just kindness. It's a social tax. Helping others builds a safety network. One day it may save you. This idea became the seed of insurance and mutual funds. Wealth didn't come from luck. It came from discipline and networks. Ever wonder why Wall Street has many Jewish names? The answer is asset abstraction, turning assets into ideas. While others trusted land and gold, they traded trust and paper. As migrants, they couldn't carry land, so they carried contracts. They built global information networks. Information moves faster than money. While kingdoms fought wars, traders shared prices worldwide. This became the seed of stock markets and derivatives. Another concept, chutzpah, bold, fearless confidence. In finance, fear blocks wealth. Courage opens doors.
They question authority. They challenge old beliefs. This spirit built empires like Rothschild and Goldman Sachs. They didn't follow rules, they created new ones. But this isn't cold greed, it's long-term sustainability.
They don't worship quick riches, they worship generational wealth. Success means future generations never start from zero. Long-term thinking helps survive global crises. While the world chases trends, they follow timeless rules. Jewish financial thinking isn't magic, it's debate, discipline, and vision. They turned historical disadvantages into advantages. Now the question is yours. Will you challenge old money beliefs? Or keep treating money as the enemy? And when wealth comes, will you build an ecosystem for others? Next time, we explore family education, where the first jars begin. Welcome to the Genius Factory, where Jewish children are shaped into brilliant minds before they even learn to tie their shoes. This is where the journey truly begins. In the previous parts, we admired the power of history and financial brilliance. Now we step inside Jewish homes. We will see how parents shape children so they almost cannot fail. The secrets start surprisingly early. Forget endless tutoring and thick exercise books. Jewish education begins with something sweeter. It begins with honey, a drop of honey on the first letters a child learns. The child tastes the honey from the page. The message is simple and powerful. Learning is not suffering. Learning is sweet. While many children fear books during exam season, Jewish children see knowledge as candy, a lifelong treat. Jewish people don't just read books, they live with books. In a typical home, the bookshelf stands proudly beside the bed. It is treated with deep respect. They have a famous saying, "If your house burns, save the books first." Houses can be rebuilt, gold can be stolen, knowledge cannot. Children are encouraged to read everything, classics, philosophy, and science. But they never read silently. They read aloud and debate the author. An unopened book is an unread letter. An unchallenged idea is meaningless. This habit builds focus and endless curiosity, the fuel of success. Now comes the legendary jar rule, a lesson in managing destiny. When children receive pocket money, they cannot spend it freely. They must face the jars. Jar 1 is spending. It satisfies small, immediate needs. Jar 2 is saving. It protects future goals. Jar 3 is investing. Money here must grow. Jar 4 is charity. It teaches responsibility to society. Jar 5 is education. It buys books and courses. This system teaches delayed gratification, a rare skill today. Want an expensive toy? Learn to wait and save. In a fast food world, patience creates leaders. The real magic happens at dinner. Family roundtables begin. Parents don't ask about grades. They ask about questions. What question made your teacher uncomfortable today? Good questions earn praise like gold medals. Children become explorers, not passive learners. Power belongs to those who question. This mindset finds solutions in impossible situations. Bedtime stories teach resilience, not fairy tales. Stories celebrate intelligence over magic. The world may be harsh, intelligence secures your place. Fear becomes motivation, weakness becomes pride. Be the smartest mind in the room. Always. Jewish family education values freedom in thinking, discipline in action. They don't teach what to think, they teach how to think. Honey and jars are only tools. The goal is independence and responsibility. Are we raising workers or architects of the future? Are you ready to taste the honey of knowledge? Next, we explore humor and chutzpah. Welcome to one of the ultimate weapons and strangest shields of the Jewish people, humor. You might expect a tragic nation to be gloomy and serious, but that assumption is completely wrong. In reality, they turned laughter into a practical IQ test. Humor became a tool of intelligence. Scholars even joke. If a Jew can't joke, check if they're a robot spy. Why is humor linked to intelligence? Because both detect absurdity and logical gaps. A great joke compresses huge information and ends with a twist. Like Einstein's formulas or Kasparov's chess moves, the brain explodes with realization. Jewish humor is not cheap slapstick comedy, it is smart, satirical, and deeply intellectual. Self-deprecating humor is their specialty. They laugh at themselves first. They joke about pain, stereotypes, even their own traditions. Why do they do this? Because laughing at pain puts you above it. Laughing at oppressors steals their psychological power. This is survival intelligence at its peak. Even in ghettos and concentration camps, jokes survived. Laughter became a declaration of intellectual freedom. You can imprison bodies, but not minds that mock you. Humor trains multi-perspective thinking. A sharp joke requires at least 3 viewpoints. The victim, the observer, and the philosopher. This creates incredible mental flexibility. Many comedy legends share Jewish roots. They don't just make you laugh, they make you think. Humor reveals social contradictions and human absurdity. It teaches not taking yourself too seriously. Lower ego leads to clearer decisions. Humor is also a powerful negotiation tool. A well-timed joke melts tension instantly. It breaks deadlocks and creates connection. Understanding a joke becomes a quick intelligence test. Laughter becomes a secret code among smart minds. Intelligence without humor feels dry and lifeless. True brilliance includes the ability to joke in crisis. Humor is not a bonus of intelligence. It is a core component of intelligence itself. It helps see through illusions of the world. It teaches dignity in adversity. Logic turns tragedy into lessons. Try laughing at your own mistakes. Stop punishing yourself for them. Can you turn life problems into satire? Or will you stay the tragic hero of your story? Next, we enter the age of tech giants. We will see how Jewish influence shaped the modern world. Welcome to the age of the new gods. Power no longer sits in guns or oil. It now lives in code and algorithms shaping human behavior. Look at the richest people and Silicon Valley CEOs. A strange pattern appears. Jewish influence shows up again and again. Sometimes it feels so obvious it becomes surreal. People joke that Hebrew must be the universe's programming language. From Google to Facebook and giants like Oracle and Dell, a small nation helped build the digital world. Why did this happen? The answer is not faster typing skills, it comes from debate culture and abstract thinking. These ideas shaped modern technology. Remember, they once couldn't own land. This became a hidden advantage during the tech revolution. They weren't tied to physical assets. While the old world built factories and mined resources, they saw data and AI as the real treasure. The 21st century runs on invisible assets. Technology takes no space and no weight. It can scale globally with one click. It became the ultimate portable wealth. Like ancient books carried during exile, knowledge became survival again. The migration moved from physical world to digital world. In the digital world, logic is the ultimate weapon. Abstract thinking decides global power. The battlefield changed forever. Another sharp factor is chutzpah. Silicon Valley calls it move fast and break things. It means fearless innovation. Mark Zuckerberg didn't ask permission to connect the world. Google founders didn't ask librarians to digitize knowledge. They simply acted. This bold confidence challenges ancient systems. It questions traditions and institutions. It rewrites the rules of society.
If you can debate God about justice, challenging media or banks feels natural. Failure becomes just a beta version.
Community networks also play a huge role. Success is rarely a solo journey. They build ecosystems instead. Israel is called the startup nation. The military trains cyber and AI experts. Innovation becomes national culture. Units like 8200 became startup incubators. Thousands of tech companies were born. Discipline meets innovation. Soldiers leave with networks and resilience. They support each other with capital and tech. Community multiplies talent. One genius can write software. A network of geniuses builds empires. Collaboration creates dominance. Jewish problem-solving is extremely practical. They don't build tech for show. They build tech to solve pain. From Waze solving traffic jams to Intel chips powering computers, every product solves a real problem. They ask simple but powerful questions. Why is this inconvenient? How can logic optimize it? This obsession with optimization creates efficiency. They sell solutions, not just products. The world runs faster because of it. Jewish tech influence isn't accidental. It's a fusion of ancient education and modern intelligence. History meets the digital age. Ancient texts became algorithms. Isolation became social networks. Fear of poverty became trillion-dollar empires. When you hold your smartphone today, you enter a system shaped by centuries of thinking. The game rules were written long ago. Will we learn to think like creators? Or stay passive users of this world? That question remains open. In the next and final part, we explore the dark pressures behind brilliance and the responsibility of intelligence for humanity's future. Welcome to the hidden side behind the gold medal of intelligence. The glow of being called the smartest people leaves pressure on individuals. Earlier, success sounded like a heroic story, but the price of always being the perfect child is never cheap. Imagine being born into a family of scholars and millionaires. Being just an office worker might feel like failure. Huge expectations become a golden mental prison. Personal freedom often gives way to family reputation. The first bitter downside is imposter syndrome. You feel like a fraud when facing failure. The world assumes you were born smart. Every struggle feels like proof you don't deserve admiration. The pressure to stay exceptional creates extreme stress. Being average is not allowed. Confident culture celebrates boldness. Sensitive or quiet people feel lost at home. Intelligence stops feeling like freedom. It becomes a mold you must fit into. Too much success also creates controversy. Conspiracy theories begin to grow. Financial success and tech dominance fuel suspicion. Intelligence gets mistaken for manipulation. This is the trap of excellence. Losers attack the game instead of learning it. History shows jealousy can turn tragic. The label smart becomes a target. Constant vigilance becomes a way of life. No wealth can replace peace of mind. Extreme critical thinking has a personal cost. Debate can invade daily life. Family conversations can feel like courtroom trials. Logic replaces warmth. Sharp thinking can hurt relationships. Love needs empathy, not pure logic. When the mind runs faster than the heart, simple joys get forgotten. This intelligence was built through hardship. Discipline shaped every generation. Knowledge became a tool to rise from ashes. It reshaped destiny. But intelligence must serve happiness. Humans should not become achievement machines. The final question is not how to be smarter, it is how to use intelligence wisely. Would you build a better world for everyone or build walls between people? Intelligence without empathy becomes a bright darkness. The choice is ours. We have traveled a long journey through ancient texts and painful migrations. From history to Silicon Valley, we searched for the miracle of intelligence. After exploring history, religion, finance, and family education, we must pause. We need to look at the big picture objectively. The truth is simple. There is no magic in Jewish DNA that makes a baby smarter at birth. Jewish intelligence is like software shaped by survival pressure. It runs on a culture that worships knowledge intensely. When material rights are taken away, thinking becomes survival. The mind becomes the last shield. Weak numbers became strong quality, isolation became focus and discipline. Even prejudice was turned into risk management skills. Survival became strategy. But intelligence is not a free gift. It comes from harsh natural and social selection. We see Nobel Prizes and billionaires, but we must also see anxiety and heavy expectations. Generations lived ready to run at any moment. Fear became part of daily life. The most objective view is not to see a superior race. It is to see a powerful case study of human potential. Education and discipline can reshape destiny. Culture can change the future. A book can be stronger than a sword. A question can collapse an outdated system. Success should never justify discrimination. It should never fuel conspiracy theories. Jewish success in finance and tech is not a secret conspiracy. It is preparation for the knowledge economy. Admiration should become learning. We must study their methods. Teach children to question instead of blindly obey. Encourage critical thinking early, manage money wisely instead of wasting it. Build long-term financial discipline. Keep humor and optimism even in dark times. Resilience is a powerful skill. Intelligence is not the destination, it is the path forward.
They are smart not to stand above others. They are smart to keep moving when the road collapses. True wealth is adaptability and the ability to rethink everything, not bank accounts. The real question is no longer why they are smart. The question is what we will do with our own minds. Will you accept limits set by society, or start building your own empire of knowledge today? Intelligence is a gift earned through effort. The door is open to anyone willing to learn. It does not matter where you were born. Courage and curiosity can change everything.